make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Earth Mac, the mad scientist.
Alvin the Infamous. What is good, everybody? What is good?
Yo, and this is the Orange Phoenix Show, Pro Wrestling Talk Live. Welcome back to the Orange Phoenix Media channel, where we talk about all things of geek culture. We're talking about anime, manga, comic books, pro wrestling, video games, you name it.
Wrestling.
We nerd it, baby.
Wrestling.
Now, check it. You know, a little bit of house cleaning. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, especially if this is your first time visiting our live. Especially hit that like button in our live. Now, we have increased in our subscriber count. Shout out to the new subscribers out there. We are now officially at 289 subscribers, man. It seems like we get at least, what we getting, like maybe 1 or 2 subscribers a day or something like that, and I love that growth for us. And shout out, that's right. Shout out to the new subscribers, man. What's going on, Infamous? What's happening?
Oh man, it's good, man. Of course, one word, wrestling. And
right.
real quick, and not to steal your thunder, but yo,
No.
for any of our current viewers, our new viewers, please subscribe to the Patreon. Please subscribe to the Patreon. When you do that, you get all kinds of access. Even what it said at the bottom of the screen, join the Discord. Look in the description. When you join the Discord, you get all that access: comics, manga, wrestling, everything. And I'm only saying wrestling because wrestling excites me, dude. Not like that, pause. But wrestling
No diddy.
no diddy. But wrestling is fun. So jump in the Discord, jump on the Patreon, get it in. Mad Scientist, what's good with you, man?
Man, listen, it's been a pretty good week, man. I had my family reunion
I saw
this
that
past weekend.
I look like you had a good time too.
We had a great time. We had like a seafood cooking on Friday. We talking fried shrimp, fried fish, crab legs, hush puppies, fried chicken. It was a deep fry. We was getting it in on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday we cooked barbecue. Like, we cooked the whole pig, me and my brother and my uncles. And man, I still got barbecue right now. They're gonna last me to the end of the week. Now, I think this is probably the best barbecue. I think we outdone ourselves out here in the barbecue game. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you can do. That's all you can do with a hog, boys. That do you say every time you do it. You can't go backwards.
You can't go backwards.
You can't go backwards.
And then, of course, on the side of the house, we watched our grandmother's like 75th birthday. Like, she passed away back in like 2001, but we had the VHS tape. So we basically transferred that from VHS to DVD, and we passed them out to each family member, and we watched the birthday. And how small we were, how we were as kids. Man. Like, it was 2001. And then, of course, me and my cousin Kells, shout out to Kells, we played EA College Football 25 on the side of the house. So, you know, that's what we did. That's what we did. And And not for nothing, I did catch that dub too. I did get that dub.
Yo, I got some partners I work with.
Yeah.
They ain't beat. It's like what 5 of them. They ain't beat me yet. Now I went to the University of South Carolina, Gamecock Country.
Yes. The cheat code, Nick Harbor. We ain't gonna talk about that. We don't gonna talk about that.
And I played with Clemson.
What?
I played with Clemson because they're offensive line. But as we all saw this past weekend, what you see in person with the quarterback Cade Klubnik, or what we call him at work, Cade Clubfoot.
Yes.
He's bad on the game too. So I got to switch up. I got to switch up, bro.
Wait, hold on. You attend South Carolina, but you played with Clemson, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come
but
on, man.
Yeah, I mean, let's say this. With y'all, you know what? I can't even defend it. Don't worry, my USC family. I'm gonna switch up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch up. I won't play with Clemson no more. Even though their defense is good now.
Yeah.
I'll switch up.
Now, not for nothing though, USC is somewhat of a cheat code, man. If you got single man coverage and you got one-on-one with Nick Harbor, it's a wrap. He's gone.
If you're playing one-on-one, if you're playing man coverage, and if your cornerbacks sheet up for the bump and run, it's over.
It's good deal. It's a done deal.
And if the safety doesn't play over the top, it's over. 20 yards down the field, he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. Nick Harbor's a beast.
It's unreal, man. I know I talked about the stats like a few weeks ago with Nick Harbor, man. I made sure he got every single touch, every single game, because you're not about to leave the squad after the season ends. Like you're gonna get this championship, and you're gonna make sure you get your touches.
We're gonna keep this party rolling.
Exactly. But hey, man, we got a jam-packed show for you guys today. Just like the thumbnail says, we're gonna talk about Hogan's most recent interview with Logan Paul on the Impulsive podcast. We're gonna talk about Odyssey Jones, and obviously we are going to talk about our personal top 10 pro wrestling video games. I have my list, but infamous Albert Staley has his list, and he got it on a sticky note.
I did it at work.
He did. I got mine right here. So, but first though, we definitely going to talk about the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about this man, Hogan, man.
God, look how old he looks. He's looked that old since you and I were like 8 or 9 years old, bro.
Look, he looked a little zooted though, like in that interview though. I will say that. That man looked a little zooted. Like, you might shut yourself for it, bro.
And I'm at the point now. Hulk. You know what? He's not even gonna get Hulk Hogan out of me because I loved Hulk Hogan. But Terry Bollea, it's time to wear some shirts with some sleeves, my guy, because that undercarriage right there,
brother.
Yeah, I mean, look at these eyes. Like you can tell that's a man who's been through it a little bit. And I'm gonna be honest, folks. I couldn't finish that interview because I was like you said, it was like trying to cut a tree down with a butter knife. I couldn't do it. Yeah. I just couldn't do it. I mean, and to be honest, I'm 41, so I'm about to use terms that these kids are using nowadays, man. It was a lot of capping, a whole lot of cappatry going on in this interview.
Yes. Cap Anonymous, like it was a good bit, bro. Like you said,
Captain Planet,
Captain Planet, you know, Captain Kangaroo.
Oh man.
But I will say though, it was like watching a barn door talk to a baseball bat. That's basically how that whole interview went down for me. Like I felt like I was suffering from brain rot. I gotta finish this for the sake of the show because you know this is one of the hottest topics that we in pro wrestling right now. So one of the things that he said that caught ire from the pro wrestling community is that he compares himself to Chris Benoit while talking about fan forgiveness. He said, and I'll quote, "If Chris Benoit can do the crap he did and the fans still love him, they're very forgiving. I made some major mistakes in my personal life. They're very, very forgiving. They forgive you. Hogan also addressed his future with the WWE during the interview, saying that he signed a 5-year deal. And he says he's going on 71 years old in a few weeks. I signed a 5-year deal for licensing and merchandising stuff and the ambassador stuff. If they need me to do something for WrestleMania, I just love doing it. It's definitely different. Let me tell you something. I don't know no mofo that's out here saying, yo, you know what? I forgive Chris Benoit. Nah. I don't know nobody saying that.
Thank
You know
you very
anybody
much.
saying that?
Bro, can we real quick? Can we talk about how bad that was? So
Yes.
we all know what happened, okay? And I'm not going to deep dive into it because I'm pretty sure the families are still hurt by that. There's no way to get over that.
Yeah.
But the junk he did, from my understanding, when it was actually found out what happened, Nancy, unfortunately, looks like I have to get into it a little bit. Nancy and the son was it? I forgot the son's name, and I'm sorry, not to disrespect anything like that.
Oh, Daniel.
But Daniel, Nancy and Daniel had been dead for like a day or two, and the way it happened, and then WWE, of course, them being WWE, not knowing the facts right off the jump, they put a tribute show to him out about it. Boy, now you talking about backtrack, retract, and wipe this man from the annals of wrestling. I mean,
Yeah. They wasn't even mentioning his name for a long period.
there's a triple threat match between him, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. If I'm right, they don't even show this dude's face.
And well, they don't mention his name.
Yeah,
They block out his name. Like when Randy Orton was like in the main storylines and they talk about him being the youngest world heavyweight champion, he beat Chris Benoit to be the youngest world heavyweight champion. They skip across that. So when they do video packages that just show images of Randy holding the world heavyweight title, now who he defeated, because they trying to get away from that, separate themselves from that situation. But for Hogan to put himself, like what Chris Benoit did, was worse.
it's unforgivable.
It's unforgivable. I mean, it's unforgivable.
Murders
I
somebody.
mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, but for Hogan, first of all, let's dial it back on Hogan. Like, so with Hogan, what he said, like repeatedly saying the N-word, like with the hard ER on it, right? And obviously, I'm not a Hogan fan. I never was, right? Even as a kid, I was an Ultimate Warrior guy. I'm definitely was a Sting guy. Sting was my favorite wrestler.
I was a Macho Man guy because Macho had a better moveset. A lot of people don't realize Macho was a bit of an aerial wrestler. He did a lot of his moves off that top rope.
And technical.
Yes, he was technical. So I mean, with Hulk, you said a word that even you and I shouldn't be saying. Richard Pryor said in his trip to Africa, he said, "Yo, do I see any here? Do I see any of those words here?" He was like, "I don't." And from that point on in the stand-up, he said, "I'll never say it again." I watched that stand-up and I said, "Hey, look, I can't say them. If Richard Pryor can stop, then I know I can." But Hulk, as long as you've been in this business, with the guys you work with, you were there. Coco Beware was in the building, my guy. You said you were tight with the Rock's pops, Rocky Johnson, which means if you were tight with Rocky Johnson, you was tight with Atlas while he was there, because they were tight like that. So I mean, that's the word where you say that, okay, you basically draw a line between us. And again, like you said, who the hell forgave Chris Benoit? I mean, he murdered his wife and son.
Bro, I don't know nobody that, like, this is the third time this man has slipped up the tongue. Like the first time was the major one. It's like, bro, I don't think it's some things like, okay, people might defend him and say, well, people make mistakes, but there's some mistakes that you shouldn't, for a fact, you should not be tiptoeing yourself around. Like,
not
at
even.
all. And you in the 80s, everybody had your action figures. I mean, I didn't, but everybody had your action figures or
I did.
Right. I watched Thunder in Paradise. It was one of my favorite shows, not because of him, but because Hammerhead Sting was in it and other wrestlers guests, right? And like you had black kids that was actually idolizing you. And then they hear you say that, like, bro, you are a bag fumbler. You know what I'm saying? Then the second time,
in a pure form,
like in the
pure
second
form.
time, you attack a politician's ethnicity, well, and knowing full well you didn't really get out from under your first issues, but you bring this up, and you're gonna surround yourself around somebody that has a lot of controversy around them, and then you question someone's ethnicity. Then you fast forward to the interview with Logan Paul, and then you said something about Chris Benoit, like they forgive Chris Benoit. Like, who do you know that do it? Like, you are a bad fumbler, my guy. Like, you should not have a 5-year deal with WWE. Like, I would not be surprised if they cut that deal. There's like, because they really
wouldn't
don't
be surprised.
you know what I'm saying? Like, we own these properties. Like, we don't need you, boy. And so, also, this man said, he talked about Bret Hart. He said,
"Oh, I was hot when he started talking about Brett Tavius, Javante Hart. I got heated. yo, I'm at my desk, man. I just threw my phone over my shoulder, and here go one of my coworkers. Boy, what's wrong with you? I was like, he talk about Brett Tavius over here. He talk about the BRET over here,
right? And he's saying, Brett hates everybody. If it's not me, it's Flair, it's Vince. I'll never work for Vince again after what happened to my family, and then he's back. It just never ends with him. I love Bret to death, man. I started with Bret. I remember when I was in Atlanta, I was in the business for about 3 years, and I was like 330 pounds, 340. I just remember Bret used to live across the hall from me when I was working for Channel 17. What was it? Crockett Promotion. Then I was so big, I wrestled 3 guys at once, so I picked all 3 of them up in a bear hug and just ragdolled them. Bret was one of them. So he like, I don't get it, man, because I love him to death. He's a good guy. He was a great asset to the business. And when you talk like that, you attract more hatred and negativity. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know nobody that hates Bret Hart, except for Goldberg, possibly. But you know, and him saying he hates everybody, it's only one man that I know Bret Hart hates, Goldberg, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Vince, yeah, that's there too, because I mean, after what came out about him, you know, Vince piece of shit. But
I think most of everyone has confirmed that Vince is a piece of shit. I mean, if Brett needs a tag team partner for hating Vince, tag me in. But I mean, I don't think Brett hates everybody. Brett don't like those that try to screw him and or the business, because we all know Brett loves. I'm not gonna say loved. He loves wrestling.
Yeah,
him and his brother. My opinion, I think Owen was a little bit better than Brett. Owen the high flyer, Brett the technician. But
yeah, I agree.
Brett doesn't hate everybody, but at the same time, Brett knows what happened. Brett knows what happened in WCW.
Yeah,
there's more we could have heard from Brett. There's so much more we could have heard from Brett when that special Who Killed WCW came out. Mm-hmm. And then for Hogan to make it sound as though Brett hates him, I don't think Brett hates you. I think Brett dislikes you, along with other wrestlers or former wrestlers. For example, Big E Langston, I'm pretty sure the likes of Booker T don't like you. I'm almost certain the likes of I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Shawn Michaels don't like you. And, you know, Shawn ain't got no problem with anybody. And I'm almost certain I wouldn't be surprised if the Undertaker didn't like you. But there was one man I know for a fact didn't like Hulk Hogan. God rest his soul.
Iron Sheik.
F the Hulk Hogan every day on Twitter.
Yep. Hot tour.
and this wasn't fake. The man absolutely didn't like the Iron Sheik.
Or Jesse Ventura either. Jesse don't like Hulk Hogan.
And I'm pretty sure Macho probably had a little issue with you at one point. I mean, and I'm pretty sure that went past storylines. So Hulk Hogan makes it seem to me, he makes it seem as though, oh, I was such a likable guy, whatever. You weren't. You didn't transcend with the business. You went to WCW with your full creative control, and then you tried. Basically, it was if you didn't like the way a match was going, you just walk out.
Yeah.
So it was, and then of course he did make a little statement talking about how bad his back was. Good God, all those surgeries. What, 25?
Yeah, he went through a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, do something else besides a damn leg drop. Look at Macho, a flying elbow drop, which was beautiful, by the way.
Yes.
You had guys really put in work. I just feel like Hulk Hogan. That's been my problem with Hulk Hogan for years. When I finally had a chance to sit down and think, did this man really put in the work to be better? And he didn't. He didn't have to, but did he try to let's look at John Cena. John Cena had about 3 or 4 moves when he first got going.
Mm-hmm.
After he got older, we started seeing a fisherman suplex. We started seeing a slingshot stunner, a leg drop off the top rope, a submission move. I mean, we started seeing a lot more than just build momentum, punch, and the 5-knuckle shuffle, which I'm sorry, I think the 5-knuckle shuffle is dope, but John Cena evolved. Hogan didn't.
Well, I think so as far as if we talking wrestling only, he wrestled in Japan and he wrestled a scientific type of way. Hogan did.
Yes, he did. He did.
But I will say this though, like when you're in the WWE and your charisma is over the top, you do not have to do a whole lot. You don't have to your work rate don't have to be that much. Undertaker wasn't doing no technical style, even though he could have. Ultimate Warrior, which that man has been talked about negatively to the day is long, and how he was running in the ring, do his thing for 3 to 5 minutes and be out. And Hogan was kind of like the same way in a sense, so he ain't really had to do it. But him personally though, like you killed your whole legacy. Like what you did, you killed your legacy. You continue to shoot it and beat it to death with a baseball bat.
Shitting on your own legacy.
And then recently you took a whole combine and ran over it. like that what you did, bro. Like you want to talk about how Bret Hart hates everybody. He has valid reasons to hate these people that he's hating. He giving you line by line of things why I hate this person. Why I don't like Goldberg. This man kicked me in the face, and me and him had these conversations before the match started. Now, is that hatred held a little bit longer? Sure. I hate Vince because of what happened. We seen Wrestling in the Shadows on A&E back in the day. We seen that. Like that was raw and uncut because that wasn't a WWE, branded documentary. That was like some real life stuff. Bret even talked about his run-ins with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9. And how Hogan was. So, and Hogan gonna bust out and said, and this is another thing he said. He said that I call Eric Bischoff up. Who is your third man? We're going to go with Sting. Bro, he's not WWE. Scott and Kev are WWE. Sting has nothing to do with WWE. I'm WWE from head to toe. I'm the third man. Eric goes, really? Will you do it? Yeah, I'll do it. Eric didn't even believe I would do it. I flew a jet to Daytona, hid out in a hotel. I told Eric, call me when the last match is in the ring before the main event. Eric didn't even think I was coming to the hotel. He had Sting ready to go, which that part is factual because we heard that a lot of times. Yeah. So they didn't believe I would do it. I had creative control. I never used it. Bitch, are you serious?
Lies. Cap.
Like, are you serious? Like, how many times we have heard this man has used creative control?
And how many times have we heard from other folks that he has that he had that creative control and that it was used? This ain't the first time we've heard that it was used. And then plus when it came to, oh my God, my little evil daughter just came in here and made me forget my train of thought. Dang it. But when it comes to Bret disliking somebody, again, he don't like Hogan. I'm sorry, but Hogan, you're giving us reason not to like you. We don't like Vince.
Yeah.
Anybody that Brett said he didn't like, Brett justified it. And guess what he did? He freaking made us understand why he didn't like him. And now we're sitting here thinking, oh, Brett out here spitting. There's a reason Brett don't like him. But guess what? Now I don't like him because at one point I was like, you know what? Screw Brett. Brett out here wrong as day is long. And then I was like,
yeah, maybe he's not.
I got to sit there thinking, I was like, you know what? Brett might have a point here. Then I remember the kick by Goldberg, but I sat there and I looked at it repeatedly. I was like, yo, he kicked the hell out of Brett. And then I started looking at some of Goldberg's old clips on his spears. I was like, yo, he's tackling jokers out here. These ain't like the Roman Reigns type of spears or the Edge type of spears. No, this is blue 42 blitz type of spear right here. Like I'm wearing about 25, 30 pounds of pads. So I got to thinking, I was like, maybe Brett is right. And then I heard Goldberg talk about it. I was like, yeah, Brett right.
Brett green. He's like, I'm green, bro. I'm
green. Brett is all right with me. He's 100% right about every damn thing he is saying.
Yeah.
Everything.
And so, like, with Hogan, I'm like, bro, like, we know you use creative control. Like, every other wrestler, like, any other documentary that we've seen, like, they mentioned creative control. Like, that was one of the staples. Like, it's like, one of the things that killed WCW. It was like, okay, people had creative control. Hogan wasn't even in the documentary, and it's supposed to be like some untouched stuff. Hogan wasn't even there, like at the document, which I found strange, because like you've been there the whole entire time, like through the rise and the fall for at least a great majority of it, with the exception of like the last episode of Nitro, maybe the last few episodes or so.
He was the rise. He was the rise. I mean, we're talking Michael Jordan. We're talking like a prime Michael Jordan signing with the Wizards, not post 6 titles Michael Jordan signed with the Wizards. No, this is like Hulk Hogan, who was a major free agent coming to Ted Turner's company with Eric Bischoff there. Yeah. And you were part of the rise, and then come to find out you've got your creative control. You notice we didn't hear those words, creative control, with anybody. Flair was there. We didn't hear that. Sting was there. We didn't hear that. Hall and Nash were already there. We didn't hear that. Kevin Sullivan was there.
Kevin had creative control too, I think.
But guess what? He had it.
A booker. I think he was a booker too.
He was. One point. He was. Kevin Nash had creative control, but we never heard anybody reference his. They always referenced Hogan's.
They always reference Hogan's. And here's the thing. Like, let's talk about the business side of it, right? Like, the business side of it is Logan Paul. Like, bro, he built his own brand, right? Mm-hmm. It's like the videos that he's done, and he's overly impressed as far as how he performs in the ring, and he takes it very seriously. But the thing is, bro, you have a brand now. Your drink Prime is on the mat for WWE.
It's ringside.
It's ringside, right? It's stacked up beside it, right? So the thing is, all right, shout out to Court, Country Hill TV. Hogan also buried Kurt Hennig, Bad News Brown, Zeus, Jake Roberts. Hogan never wanted the job anyone. Hey,
freaking facts.
Hey, and matter of fact, what Bret Hart did, right? For what I understood, I think Mark Henry wasn't catching on, and this is rumored. You know, I don't have like any backing of this, but it's like they was looking to let Mark Henry go, but Bret took him to the dungeon. And it's like, nah, they ain't about to let you go because I'm going to get you right. And then got them together and came back. Like nobody don't hate Bret like that. You know what I'm saying? But, okay. Mm-hmm. But back to Logan Paul. Like, Logan Paul, you got a brand, my boy. Like, and solidified. Like, again, like him, I don't know if that's his brother sitting with him because I don't really watch the podcast like that.
Me neither.
But, and that's so slight. But, I mean, in a part, it was kind of glazing him a little bit. They were kind of glazing Hogan a little bit. Like, bro.
They were fanboying.
You fanboy. Like, get away from this man. This man will kill your career, bro. Like, stay away by all intents and purposes. Coach Hill says Hogan is a clown, and like Cornette said, you can't believe a word Hogan says. Like, he lied. and said he was on a flight with Kerry Von Erich and talked him out of suicide. That was
Can I add two things real quick?
Shout out to Country Hill.
Yeah, shout out to Country Hill real quick on on behalf of this podcast, man. Appreciate you being on the show. He said that Hogan also buried Kurt Hennig, Bad News Brown, Zeus and Jake Roberts. Hogan never wanted to jab to anyone. This is a true fact because I'm not sure if Country Hill knows Hogan was scared to death to get in the ring with Jake the Snake. Not Jake Snake, but he was scared to get in the ring with Ravishing Rick Rude. That is a solidified fact.
Yeah, we got a new subscriber out here.
New subscriber, TV. Let's go.
Country Hill TV. We had 290 subscribers now, bro.
I bet you if Country Hill looks this up right now, he will find that Hogan was afraid to get in the ring with Ravishing Rick Rude because Ravishing Rick Rude was that damn good. And secondly, if you talk Kerry Von Erich out of suicide, my dude, he still did it.
Yeah,
he still did it. And I mean, I don't want to say that family's cursed because if y'all haven't watched Iron Claw, amazing movie, but they could have made that movie about 6 hours long.
They could have.
It was some stuff happened in that movie.
Yeah, it was some stuff that missing out. But I mean, as far as his where's your chapstick? As far as his brothers is concerned, like Kevin and his sons, like they're doing great things in AEW. Like
yes, they are.
Von Erich, they are current Ring of Honor, not tag team champion, but they're 6-man champions, and they're under the tutelage of Dustin Rhodes. And I love that. I love seeing that.
I love it.
But Logan Paul, bro, my boy, get the hell away from that. You do not want to kill your brand because you are doing so many great things. Athletic wise, you making money hand over fist. That money can be gone like that by just attaching yourself to that situation. Like, don't because there was even something with Logan Paul alleging that he pushed his dog into the water, and so he can make content of him saving his dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you had to apologize to Japan, like, a few years ago. That blew over. Like, don't do that to yourself, my boy. Don't do that to yourself.
Can I say this about Logan Paul? Yes, he's a dickhead. And so is his brother. Jake can eat a bag of nails for all I care. Logan I can put up with. And I need Logan Paul to realize, my guy, you're a raw talent right now. Yeah. Like he's such a raw talent. I mean, the match between him and Rey Mysterio, where he caught Rey Mysterio doing that backflip, even Rey was like, "Yeah, this man just saved my life right here." Yeah, and for him to be a rookie and to have that ring presence, yes, you're not going to teach that. That's somebody who absolutely. Can he become a world champion? Yeah. Yes. Will he become a world champion? Yes. Do I want him to become a world champion? Absolutely. Because world champions nowadays, they're pseudo part-time / full-time. Yeah. But he could be that heel I can show up when I want to. Roman Reigns did it. Yeah. Now Hogan's talking about talk to Triple H not talk to Triple H, and like he see him being like the world heavyweight champion this year. Like, boy, it's September, dog. Like, you want him to be champion by the end of December? That's like, not gonna happen, player. How significant? I know he was like, putting him over and stuff like that. I get that part. I'm not a wrestler. Excuse me for using the term, but he was hyping him up basically. And saying, yeah, you should be champion, or like I feel like you should have been involved with the Bloodline storyline. Like, you imagine you helping Roman Reigns out because that helps you out because I see that. And I know Undertaker actually gave
gave Logan his flowers too, saying like you one of the best U.S. champions or something around those lines, which I highly disagree. But because there's better U.S. champions. However, though, his matches with Ricochet, his matches with Rey Mysterio Jr., his matches with Roman Reigns, his match with Cody, like
Miz,
he's proven that he can go in the ring. Like he is highly entertaining in the ring. But if you want to keep your brand straight and on the narrow, get away from people like Hogan. Hogan's already been there and done that. Like his career is already. He can say whatever the piss he wants to. We can continue to hate this man all day long, and he can kill his brand. But you are up and coming. Like don't. It's a word. It's a phrase. Don't fuck up the church money.
That and I feel like Hogan is now trying to. And everyone, I'm not trying to take this political because you vote for whoever you want to vote for.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hogan now, I think Hogan's clout chasing.
Oh,
because you have Donald Trump, who's, what was it, 45th? No, I'm sorry, 45th president of the United States. All right. So basically Donald Trump is now in the annals of history as being the 45th president of the United States, now trying to become the 47th. So basically I see it this way. Just like any other local politician or anyone who's trying to get a come up, you're going to use the name that's hot right now. Donald Trump's name is hot. If I was looking for fame, and trying to get my name out there, I ain't even going to front. If I didn't know any better, I'd probably try to use Donald Trump. And again, not going political. I'm only talking about Hogan's clout chasing. This basically is a way for him to come to be relevant again, because we don't care about you like that in wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather see the likes of Booker T, John Cena, anybody else except you. And I feel like this is his way, because I'm almost certain he don't know Donald Trump like that. I'm almost certain he don't. I'm pretty sure he probably knows him, but at the fact that he made it seem as though he's so buddy with him, probably tried to make it seem as though he rescued him from a burning car or something like that. You don't know Donald Trump like that. Yeah. You don't. I mean, if those two in the same area, Donald Trump would probably speak to him, walk off, be like, get this dude the hell away from me. Because the one thing is, Donald Trump also cares about his brand as well. He cares about his brand. His brand is pretty much saying, do we want to put a has-been old-ass wrestler on the same stage as us always? Or do we want to just try to reach out to who he can? And I'm almost certain it's the latter, because Donald Trump is too damn smart for that. And here you have Hogan there was just so much cabinetry in that. I mean, I feel like if he was a martial art, his favorite form of martial arts would be capoeira. Man. And Country Hill said, I was never a Hogan fan. He did nothing to help any of the boys in the business. It was all about him having the title, him having creative control. He killed WCW.
Yeah, he definitely had his hand in that, man. And also moving on to some other news there, we talk about Odyssey Jones, man.
Yeah, I really want to talk about this right here.
So it says that Odyssey Jones was removed from WWE TV when domestic violence allegations came to light. Fightful has learned we've not heard of an arrest or charges being pressed in relation to the situation. We've reached out to WWE for comment as well as clarification on his status. Talent had not been informed of the situation. This corroborates the allegations we discovered online earlier today regarding Jones. The accusations were made in July. However, it is unknown to when they were first brought to the attention of WWE. Quote, according to Brian Alvarez, a Wrestling Observer, says that there's not been press release or anything like that, but I've been told Odyssey Jones is fired. There are rumors online, also from Fightful, that it was a domestic violence allegation. Apparently no arrest at this point, but I was told fired. So that's it for Odyssey Jones. So I will say this quickly. Odyssey was in storyline with the New Day, and it seemed like it was teased that Xavier Woods was going to possibly turn, and it was showing signs of that. Now that Odyssey Jones is no longer present, what's going to happen with the New Day? It's going to be back to the status quo, or they're not going to pull the trigger on Xavier Woods, because now whatever plans they have for Odyssey, they're going to have to pivot. So what's your thought? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, if the allegations are true,
yeah,
then hey, screw Odyssey Jones, because one, there's no place for any type of domestic assault, domestic violence. Fellas, we should be putting our hands on women.
Nope.
I'm going to get that out there before I say anything else. Let me get that out there. One, I'm not saying it just to preface anything. I'm saying it because that's how guys like me and the mad side is raised. Respect women.
Sir.
We don't put our hands on them, not the least bit. But with this right here, you know what this reminds me of a little bit?
What's that?
Remember Enzo Amore? Girl said he raped her.
Yeah.
And Booker T said it best, because Enzo was the cruiserweight champion at the time. This was really bad because a title holder got in this mess.
Yeah.
So Booker T said it. He said, when you have things like this right here, you got to get out in front of this. Technically, it's like you have to let your employer know what's going on. You got to get out in front of this mess right here. Even if it's not to save your ass, just to tell the company, hey, listen.
Even if it's not true.
Hey, listen. Something may be coming up, saying that me and this chick, we got into it, saying I assaulted her or whatever. I'm letting you know. You can either fire me, you can investigate it, you can fire me, you can turn the other cheek. I'm letting you know. And I'm also going to have me a witness here confirming that I let you know about it.
Yeah. So
if this happened back in July, man, it's September. Well, basically, he probably got fired in the last month. So I mean, it went about a month, and then stuff like this leak. I mean, it's already bad that the allegations come up, whether they're true or not.
Yeah.
And you have to take it with a grain of salt. Like, hey, we gotta investigate it. We don't know if it's true or not, but we gotta investigate it. And then, of course, things like domestic violence. I mean, no matter how bad it sounds, shit like that only gets worse.
Yes.
I mean, it's 2024. I mean, you got slime balls doing the absolute worst to women. I mean, look, it can happen to men as well. But you got slime balls that's doing the absolute worst to their domestic partners. And again, there is no room in this world for stuff like that.
Yeah.
At all. Absolutely no room for stuff like that. So if he did it, screw Odyssey Jones. If he didn't do it, and if it's a lie, then hey, hopefully an investigation can be done, and he can get back to doing what he does best, and hopefully get this storyline back up. I doubt they will, but at the same time, I hope he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But then again, and hey, look, if he did, middle finger to this dude. But my whole stance
you
on
fumbled the bag, bro. And from what I understood,
fumbled the bag.
I heard, this man was hanging out in catering for a hot minute, and so him being on TV or whatever the case may be, not sure how true that is, not sure how untrue that is, just don't know. Put that out there. But if this indeed true that you've been hanging out in catering and you just got brought to the forefront, and you with, of all people, the New Day with Kofi and his knowledge, and Xavier and his knowledge, and obviously you're getting some knowledge from Big E, even though he's not wrestling at this point in time, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like fumbling, right? And you got these allegations, and you ought to know how the internet is. Even with the word allegations, you're already guilty. Automatically, you're
public opinion.
Public opinion. You are guilty until proven innocent in the court of the internet law. So, and it's not, and that's what it is. So, So I be careful with the word allegation. When I see the word allegation, I'm like, all right, you know, allegedly you got this, but I need to see what happens with you because when he's fired, and WWE has the right to do that. And I mean, look what they did with Enzo. Like you said earlier, what they did with Enzo, they let Enzo go. They fired his behind, and then later they find out he didn't do any of the things that he was accused of doing. And like, but the damage is already done. And while one person is sitting in the seat at the head of the table was doing something 10, 15, 20 times worse. And now you know for a fact this stuff is true because there's court documents and stuff. So, you know, it's like, and the FBI was like, hold on. Before you start, you know, going forward with this thing, we got some more shit to put on this man. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to, you know, live by the sword, die by the sword. It is what it is. But Odyssey definitely fumbled that bag, bro. Like, I mean, you got to be careful who you talk to, who you hang around with. When you are in the limelight and you look like you're going to make money, especially if you're a black man. Like, especially.
Bro,
you have to be careful who you hanging with. Like, your circle got to change.
Got to be more careful. Matter of fact,
got to be more careful, man. Got to be more careful.
You remember Henry Ruggs played for the Raiders? Got in that wreck and killed that girl.
Yeah,
and her dog.
Yes.
Warren Sapp said there are 5 things that'll keep you off the cover of the USA Today.
Yeah.
1, being out late, being out after 10.
Yeah.
Driving too fast. Let's see what. Drinking too much. Alcohol. Well, drugs and guns.
Mm-hmm.
And you're with a girl that you know that you don't know, or you're with a girl that you know too well. Henry Ruggs speeding out at midnight, drunk, had a gun in the car, was with his gal when he got in that wreck. It's
done.
It's too. I'm almost certain the WWE has something set up to help these superstars not screw up. Dude, you were in catering.
Yeah.
You appeared on Raw, the flagship show that's been on as long as The Simpsons. Weekly running.
Yeah.
Bro, we in our 40s. Raw hit TV. Or how old were we? 7, 8? Possibly.
Yeah, run that single digits.
Raw's been on TV that long.
Yeah.
The first Raw I saw, I think, what were they in the Hammerstein Ballroom? Hell, I don't even remember. And look at where they're at now. Yeah. And you get called out of catering.
I think it was at Madison Square Garden. I think it was like a room or something like that.
You get called out of catering to come out and help the New Day. And the next thing you know,
in a major storyline, by the way,
in a major storyline that was going to go a week. So to be honest, you messed up that entire storyline because now you got a New Day, in limbo.
Yeah,
you got Karrion Kross and the rest of the Final Testament in limbo because to be honest, I was really starting to like the Final Testament because I'm an Authors of Pain fan.
Yeah,
Authors of Pain fan. So I mean, it was just bag fumbling of epic proport. He must have been hanging around with Hulk Hogan.
I hope not, man. Well, we'll see because that's the news that we have for Odyssey Jones. That's all we have really. Anybody has because he's been taken off of the active roster and that's what it is. But now we at the part of the show, closing the show, where we talk about our top 10 pro wrestling video games. Personal, myself, the infamous Alvin Staley, man. So, would you want to go ahead and take over as far as your number 10? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first, brother. You can go first. Host house rules.
Host house rules. Okay, host house rules. So, My number 10, I will honestly say, is an arcade game, and it is WWF WrestleMania for the Sega Genesis, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think I remember that one.
From McLean, man. I think no. Was it from McLean? I think it was from McLean. Yeah. This game was awesome. Absolutely loved this game. I used to wrestle with Bret Hart all the time.
I remember that.
I used to get it in with Bret Hart. Now, also Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels was my go-to because Shawn Michaels used to kick the crap out you. But that's what it was.
I remember.
That is my number 10. What is your number 10?
WWE All Stars.
Oh, WWE All Stars. Okay, we might be
WWE All Stars.
Okay, why that game?
The reason is it was so cheesy. It was so cheesy. Like Triple H's Triple H's pedigree, he would go like 15, 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And he would drop them. But also these guys look super huge. Look at Ultimate Warrior.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Because I think with most wrestling games, we want it to be over the top.
Yeah, look at Rey Mysterio. You know Rey Mysterio damn well ain't doing no flip like that. Not with them badass knees.
No. He definitely wasn't doing that.
Look how big he is. Yo,
he definitely wasn't doing that.
So I loved this game right here, bro. When I mean, I played it on the regular. I think I played it for was it the Wii? I can't remember, dog. But I played this game unrealistically, dog.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's your number 10 for WWE All Stars, which honestly, that is my number 9. Is WWE All Stars. So
really,
yes, WWE All Stars is my number 9. So your number 10 is my number 9. So, this game actually reminded me of like the arcade wrestling games from old. So I was like. And I really did love it, but you can actually combo into your finisher. And I used to love doing it with Randy Orton because once you pull off an air combo, hit that air combo, as soon as he's in the air, boom, RKO, and that was a wrap for that, man. But I wish the roster was a little bit bigger. But other than that, fun game. So what's your number 9?
Number 9, WCW NWO Revenge.
That's your number, bro. Ain't no way you got that at number 9, dog.
I do,
you got it, bro. How you got that at number 9?
I got it at number 9.
Wow. I really want to know what is your number 8. What is your number 87654? That thing better be top tier, bro. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm a judge you.
Yeah, this is my number 9.
That's your number 9. Okay, so why number 9 for WCW NWO Revenge?
This one,
why it's on the list, rather?
This is on the list because just look at it. Look at how the stadium is. If I'm right, you could design stadium. Not stadium, but you could design the arena, the pay-per-view, and all that. If I'm right, you could. So just look at it. This was, and I'll say this game was fun as hell too. Look at this right here. Straight up suplex. You didn't see a lot of games at that time doing suplexes into the match. So this game was mad fun, bro. Super fun. And look at this. Going for a pin, automatically interrupted by the CPU.
Yeah, I think that was Aki. Or AKI. We call it Aki. Aki Games. And Aki makes some really, really good wrestling games.
Yeah.
So we're on number 8. My number 8 is Saturday Night Slam Masters.
Woo!
I think I had that for the Super Nintendo. Saturday Night Slam Masters was my jam. I used to love playing that game. It's from Capcom. And it's a wrestling game, but it was more or less a fighting game too.
Look at that. It looks just like Street Fighter, bro. You can tell
just like Street Fighter.
You can tell Capcom made this right here.
tell Capcom made this. But the thing is, though, when it was Super Nintendo, you had these big over-the-top sprites, right? So
Yeah.
with these big sprites, it was just larger than life, and it was like easy to pick up and play. And it was like, that's all we want. Just a fun wrestling game. So I'm always down for that. But that was my number 8, Saturday Night Slam Masters. I think there's 2 of them. There's 2.
Yeah.
Slam Masters 2, but I think that never came to the US. I think you actually had to go out your way and get that. But what's your number 8?
WWF in your house.
What? Whoa. In your house. Okay, why in your house?
The reason is because I was a huge, of course, just about everybody named Mama know I'm a huge Shawn Michaels fan.
Of course.
And at the time, Shawn was the only cat. He was the only Joker I would use on this game, man. He was the only dude. And plus, they made this one very, very lifelike. In the battle mode, the Intercontinental Championship, you go up against one person, and at the end, I think you go up against 2. That WWF Championship, you'd end up going up against like 2 at the same time, and then face off like 3 at the end.
Yeah.
Look at that right there. Look at that. Look at Shawn. I mean, this is Perk Shawn right here too, boy.
And this was basically WrestleMania, but just with new characters. That's basically what it was. Yeah.
That's it.
But I like the fact there was Ultimate Warrior, British Bulldog, Ahmed Johnson. I think that's the only time Ahmed Johnson was actually in the game, if I ain't mistaken. I don't remember a time that he was in another one.
He was in another one.
It had to be a WCW. Was it a WCW game?
Mm-mm. It's actually going to be my number 7 pick.
Okay, so now while we on number 7, though, I'm gonna get This is ranked a little lower because I actually had this ranked in my top 5, but I fully understand why it should be there. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna flip that. My number 7, because that's an error. My number 7 is WWE 2K14.
Ooh.
Now that right there is a top tier.
That's a top tier game.
Simulated game, WWE game, and I mean that thing was top tier, top notch, and I feel like it couldn't have been duplicated because what they did 2015, 2016, it was just a steady decline. They could not duplicate it. 30 years of WrestleMania. That's what they had. 30 years of WrestleMania. Like you could do all kinds of things with this, man. So really, really, really good game. Pretty fluid. So have you played 2K14?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like it's rightfully deserved to be in the top 10 of pro wrestling games.
I ain't mad at that.
Word. So what's your number 7, my boy?
WWF, and see, this is where I saw Ahmed Johnson on the game for the first time. WWF Warzone.
Oh, that was Okay.
They had Ahmed.
Yeah.
They had Ahmed, DX, Shawn Michaels. There they go.
Wow. Okay.
And of course they had Shawn. This was DX Shawn too.
Okay.
This is DX Shawn, DX Triple H. Like the first go round for DX.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. You know what? Wait a minute. Warzone. This is on PlayStation 1, right? Because
yes.
You know how I remember. So the corner, the rope, the pose, the ring pose should be on the very end of the corner, but you saw the corner pointed outward with the pose where I was like, I ain't gonna hold you though. I think this game was low tier.
Yeah, it was, but I loved it.
Hold up. Now that I think about it, did you have this above WCW/NWO Revenge, dog?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
Throw it all away, bro.
I did.
Come on, man.
I did.
Come on, man.
I did. And the one thing in this game you could do on this game is if you there was something you had to do to unlock the Rattlesnake character, and the Rattlesnake was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was just in jeans. That was it.
Man, I'm questioning the list, man. I'm questioning the list. Right?
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna get better. We're gonna get better.
We're gonna get better. We're
gonna get better.
So my number 6 which was actually in my top 5, is Fire Pro Wrestling World.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, this game right here, I feel like it's not duplicated in terms of innovativeness.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, as far as creativity concerned, like you can literally create everything from scratch, like your interests, the promotion itself, the ring, the lighting. Like you don't have to go out there and the custom music. Like I had soundtracks, I had actual theme music for all the wrestlers I want to create. You can create all kind of dream matches for who's never not on your original roster. I had Kenny versus AJ Styles. I had Chris Jericho on there when he was with another company. Like I had TNA wrestlers on there. Like it was, and this is unique because of the camera angle. But the one thing I did like about Fire Pro Wrestling, though, as far as the gameplay is concerned, is that you couldn't pull no power moves right off jump. You had to work into it. So it focused on the work rate of your performer to work your way up to actually doing the finisher or doing more powerful moves. Like the vertical suplex. You couldn't do that off jump.
Yeah.
You had to work your way into that. And if you weaken them, that's why I love Fire Pro Wrestling so much. Fire Pro Wrestling World was the only thing is, I wish they do a new one, but they update the graphics to a much higher degree, and keep the customization, because the customization was brought us to the dance. Like you had your own promotion and everything. So, and I think there's no wrestling game right now that has that type of creativity like Fire Pro Wrestling World though.
Yeah.
So. Man, love that. Man, what's your number 6?
WWF Attitude.
No. Okay. Why WWF Attitude?
This game was fun as hell. This game was fun. This game was fun as all get out.
But listen,
very cheesy, cheesy looking. Look at that. Get on top of the rope. And at the same time, folks, y'all gotta understand how old I am. But I'm 41. But look at that. Get on the top rope. Get on there. Very cheesy. Look at this. Cheesy as hell.
Yeah.
But it was like one of the first games after Warzone that made that the entrances looked authentic.
Yes. That's Undertaker.
It's Undertaker. And they even had Gangrel on this game. Gangrel's entrance. It was pretty low. It was low key dope.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. But man, that WCW NWO Revenge, man, that thing got
Yeah, you tight.
I don't know. Hey, I'm hey. Listen.
Hey, yo, you tight by that one.
Hey, there's a lot of viewers here when they see this list, they're gonna be tight too, because man, I'll tell you why.
They can pull up and I'll explain.
I can tell you why, like later on in the show though. Later on in the show, because I will say I got WCW NWO Revenge maybe on here, maybe not. But my number 5 is WWL SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is my number 5, and I stand on that. Here Comes the Pain was a game me and shout out to my cousin Kels used to play all the time, and it was fast paced. I used to go to town with Brock Lesnar. You understand? Like, go to town. We just doing finishes on each other, doing all kinds of wild stuff on Here Comes the Pain. So super fun game. Really did like it.
Some good graphics on this game too.
Yeah, you play Here Comes the Pain, have you?
This one I didn't get a chance to play.
Man, you doing yourself a disservice, man. You're doing yourself a disservice by not playing SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, bro. Like,
the American Badass too.
You see that? Bow! Like, I used to do that move with Brock Lesnar all the time, man. That dude was OP. This game was super fun. Super, super, super fun. Man, that's my number 5, man. We're in our top 5. That is my number 5.
I'm gonna take you back a little bit on this one.
Okay, what's your number 5?
WCW versus the World.
Whoa. Okay. WCW versus the World.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so why is that top 5?
Because come to find out, and I didn't know this. To be honest, I didn't know this until today.
Yeah.
They had real wrestlers on there, like Hulk Hogan. They had Hulk Hogan, Sting, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. But then they had fictional wrestlers.
Yeah.
Those fictional wrestlers were real wrestlers.
Yeah.
They had a fella on there. I forgot his daggone name. But they had a fella on there. His name was Bad Blood. Bad Blood was the Great Muta.
Yes. Yeah.
And they had another fella on there. He was Jushin Thunder Liger. And I'm sitting here, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why did I not know this? And I used to play this game. This game, they also had championships too, where you could defend those championships.
Yeah.
So I was like I played this game so daggone much my parents got this for me, bro.
WCW versus the World, man, that's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick at all, man. I'm not even mad at that. As your number 5, man. My number 4 is Def Jam Vendetta Fight for New York. That is my number 4.
And see, I was wondering if we could go outside of wrestling, but
I mean, technically, it is a wrestling game, though. It is a wrestling game, is it not?
It is.
So I mean,
it is. They did some missions on there.
They did missions on there, right? Like you just was backyard wrestling. I know they had a ring somewhat pushing you back. It was street fighting, but you was pulling moves like back breakers, Irish whips, all kinds of stuff, man. So,
all right. So I had to change up my top 3 real quick. Now that I know we can put Vendetta in there. Vendetta's in my top 3, folks. I'm letting y'all know now.
Okay, is that your number? Is that your? Oh, wait a minute. I gave you my number 4. So what's your number 4?
Number 4, WWF SmackDown 2. Know Your Role.
Okay. WWF SmackDown Know Your Role. Okay. So why Know Your Role?
I was a huge Jeff Hardy fan at the time.
Okay.
They let Jeff Hardy do his thing on this one. And this was like before. This is when Jeff Hardy and Matt were still coming into their own with the tribal on the arm sleeve. They were still they had just broken to like the pant, I guess, to like the super cargo pants, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, that was one reason. But of course, the storylines were pretty cool on this one.
Okay. I see that. Ooh. Now we in our top 3, boys and girls. We in our top 3, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna take you back. My number 3, and I had a hard time alternating this, but I feel like this is it. Is Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. That is my number 3, and that was on the N64, and you just had to be there. Actually, a whole lot of like WCW versus NWO and stuff like that. Like games like this is what they modeled it after.
Yeah.
And this is what they modeled it after. This game was scientific. Like this game could get scientific like Street Fighter scientific. And if you didn't know what you was doing, you was going to get worked out here.
Yeah, it looked like it.
You was going to get worked like here. You had Van Vader out here. You had the Japanese wrestlers, All Japan Pro Wrestling characters out here, man. You was doing some work out there. You best be ready to do your thing. Your thug. Yes, sir. Bow. Woo. You see that?
Woo. Good old power bomb. Never got old.
Yes. Virtual Pro Wrestling was that joint, man. And I wish they bring it back. Matter of fact, this should be Fire Pro Wrestling going forward, man. I feel like they should make it 3D and make it as scientific like it is. Like these entrances was cool. It's like something I never seen before, man. Like this stuff like this. Like I have so much fun playing games like this. It's crazy. That is my number 3. So what is your number? What is your number 3?
Number 3.
Yeah.
Is WWE 12.
Like 2K12?
Yes.
Man. Okay. Why 2K12?
they had a storyline where you ran up. If I'm right, you ran up against cats called the United Kingdom, which was Sheamus. Who is it? It was Sheamus, Wade Barrett. Sheamus, Wade Barrett, Drew McIntyre, and William Regal.
Mm-hmm.
And them jokers had all the daggone titles, and you had to whoop them all. And that storyline, you end up running to all of them, and you had to, like I said, you had to cut all of them ass just to get through.
Okay.
And again, that storyline was crazy. I did not know that story. When I played it, I must have played that whole storyline in a matter of hours, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't do nothing that day.
Hey, man, wrestling games will get you, man. Wrestling games will get you.
Yeah.
Wrestling games will definitely get you, man. My number 2 is WCW NWO Revenge. That's why I was so offended, man. I was so offended. I was like, did you really have that? I gotta see what's above. What you had WCW NWO Revenge at?
9.
You had it at number 9, man. You had this thing at number 9, bro. So here's why I say this. If you look at the top wrestling games, right? I'm gonna explain. If you look at the top wrestling games, like on any other YouTube channel, the number 1 and number 2, so you can swap them, is 2 games. WWF No Mercy or WCW NWO Revenge. Those are literally the top 2 wrestling games almost on every list. It's almost on every single list, bro. And I'm like, man, ain't no way you got this thing at number 9. And you had Attitude and Warzone above WCW NWO Revenge, the absolute best WCW wrestling game out there.
He ready to go to war, y'all.
Hey, man, I was tight. I ain't gonna hold you. I was tight. I was tight. I mean, it's from Aki, and Aki really did good games, and just like with Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, this is basically what this is. In a way. So
yeah.
That is my number 2, man. And I'm guessing your number 2 got to be Def Jam Vendetta, maybe.
You better believe it, dog.
Yeah, it got to be Def Jam Vendetta. Okay.
You better believe it, dog. I told you I was revamping my top 3 real quick.
Okay, Fight for New York. Okay. I mean, I feel you. I feel you on that. So yes, this is a wrestling game. I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is a fight game. No, Def Jam Vendetta, Fight for New York, or Def Jam Vendetta, period, all are wrestling games. If you pay attention to the moves, those are wrestling moves. It's just our favorite rappers that's in there doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
And they messed up not bringing this back, bro.
Bruh, you can give us a remaster. You know what I'm saying? Give us the same characters. We don't want none of those mofos. All right? Give us the same characters. Just add a little bit more, to the roster, a little bit here and sprinkle a little bit here and there. Give us a remaster. I guarantee you this will sell like hotcakes. That and NBA Street, Jesus. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna move on. I'll move on. Because I'm tight about this too. This should have been out. This should have had another remaster of Def Jam Vendetta, man.
Man. If I get hold of a PS2 and I find this, I tell you to come by the crib. We can get it in real quick. Cause man, this game was so fire, bro, and it wasn't even close.
Allow me to tell you, Software Seconds on St. Andrews Road. You can get yourself a PlayStation with all preloaded games on that PlayStation 2. Or you can get a regular PlayStation 2 and get Def Jam Vendetta Fight for New York. I'm sorry, Def Jam Fight for New York right now. But I digress. My number one is a classic. And this game right here is the number one reason why I bought an HDMI emulator, because it had this game specifically. I saw it on TikTok. I asked the person on live, do they have this game? And they looked it up, and I'll be damned, they had this game. And I'm talking about WWF WrestleFest. That is my jam right there. WWF WrestleFest. You cannot find that anywhere. You cannot find that anywhere. Unless you got an emulator out there. Trust me, I have tried on my laptop, and it's very difficult to get MAME hardware. But I got this joint right now. I'm telling you right now, WrestleFest is the pinnacle.
Everyone, the mad scientists and I, we are on the same damn page. My number one, WWF WrestleFest. Let's go.
Get the heck out of town.
Let's go.
We back.
Let's go.
We back. Yo.
Look here. Let me tell y'all something. Food Lion, grocery store Food Lion, they had this game in there to play. Whenever my mom was like, hey, I gotta go to the store. You going to Food Line? Yep. Scrounge up some quarters and went to go get it in. I could beat anybody in front of me on this game. But when the Legion of Doom, when the Road Warriors came around, you was taking the L.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Them jokers
yes,
march
sir.
to the ring, you're taking the L.
Look here. Ultimate Warrior and Mr. Perfect was my go-to right there, man. Those were my boys. I was going for it, and shoot, I might play that thing this weekend. I ain't gonna hold you. I might do it this weekend. But WrestleFest was the sole reason why I had an HDMI emulator, because it had this game on there alone. I don't care if there was no other games on there. If WrestleFest was there, I was on it. Mainly because it was just 2 buttons. Do the holes, do what you got to do. And that's something you could play for hours on end. That's something you could play with your friends, so you could play with your, with your kids. Whatever. It was a super fun game. I wish they actually ported it to SNES or Sega Genesis, but this was this was arcade only. So, and it did Retromania Wrestling, which is supposed to be a spiritual successor to this, and they also did a WrestleFest on your iPhone, where you had the current WWE superstars like Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and so forth, with similar graphics, but you can't beat the old school WrestleFest.
Oh,
man.
no.
You just can't.
You can't.
You just can't.
Good luck, but you can't.
Good luck, man. Man, boy. Well, we back. We on the same page there, man.
We back.
Whew. Man. But check it, man. That's our show for today, man. That's our show for today, man. You got anything else for the listeners out there?
Man, for our new subscribers, man, Country Hill TV. Salute to you, big dog. Appreciate you coming in here. For anyone else out there that's subscribed, man, look, make sure you hit man, and hey, we gon' my kids back to wrestling, they get it in. So again, everybody that's in here, appreciate you viewing, and as always, flowers to the mad scientists. Love you, brother.
Appreciate you. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Boogie Blends, Vivo, and myself, man. We got a whole list of things to talk about, man. We got some manga stuff. We got some gaming things, and we got our own personal top 10. Our top 10 tomorrow is our top 10 PlayStation 2 games, personal. That's gonna be a tough one because I got a whole list out here, man. It's gonna be tragic. It's gonna be tragic out here. But yep, we are out of here. Until next time, y'all. Peace.